Hey, I'm Rev, and today we're going to be going over the Sorcerer King Orgnum deck. This deck is very divisive. I wouldn't say controversial, that's not really a good term for a deck. But, this deck is the meta right now at the highest level. It's basically warping patron selection, it's warping the actual game itself. And we'll get into a little bit of strategy around it, but I just wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer. I am not the end all be all knowledge base for this game. I suggest that you get information from other sources as well and make an informed decision on how to play from those. This video will provide a grade on each card from S to F, S plus being the highest, F minus being the lowest, and I'll try to give some insight and some interactions for each card. Without further ado, let's jump into the review. The Sorcerer King Orgnum patron power is the strongest patron power in the game. You gain 1 power for every 4 cards you own, rounded down. You create 1 Maormer boarding party and place it in your cooldown pile. Now, this is not the full story. There's a lot more to this activation that isn't listed here. I suggest that you read it in-game, because it does have some very unique things on whether you are in control of the patron power or if you are outside of control of the patron power. So if it's neutral, it does something. If it's favoring you, it does something else. And if it's not favoring you, it does something else entirely. So read it, get to know it. I'm not going to go over everything because I want to get it right. But I highly suggest that you read how this patron power works entirely. The patron power is an S. It's an S plus. Like, there is nothing better than this in the game. If you're going first and you get power in your deck before your opponent gets power in their deck, you can lock down the game with this patron power. So if you pay 3, lock down the game. They either have to continually pay 3 gold every turn to keep you from getting more boarding parties in your deck, or you win the game by getting power. You'll just accrue more power by, more prestige to be specific with the boarding parties, but you will outscale your opponent significantly if they do not stop you, and you will just win if you have power generation in your deck and they don't. So this patron power, it is really, really unique. And I know a lot of people that I talk to about this game have issues with this being in the game entirely. I don't really have an issue with it from a general perspective. I tend to keep the view that if it's in the game, it's fine, you know. It's not up to me to decide what is good for the game. It's up to the developers, and I play what the developers give me. Now, that being said, I very rarely take Orgnum because I think that the light blue deck is very RNG based. I like to have a little bit more under my control, although I do pick the red deck, so that too is kind of an RNG based deck, and I really like the red deck. So I just think Orgnum is a little cheesy, but I have no issues with people playing it. Let's jump into the review of the actual cards, though. We have Ghost Scale Sea Serpent, which is an action for 2 gold you can get it, and it gains 1 prestige, 1 coin, or for combo 2 you gain an additional power. This card is fine. The upgraded version is better because you get 2 power for it. It's somewhere below. We'll see it. When you're playing this deck, I would take this card early, but I would not take it late. So I think it's a C. All right, King Orgnum's Command. It's a contract action, meaning it does not stay in your deck. For 2 gold, you call on 1 additional patron this turn. This can be an A in the right situation. Like if you get lucky, you can patron one with this. but in most situations, I think it's a B. So I'm gonna go with the B plus. I think it's pretty good for a contract action. The Maomer boarding party. I have no idea if I'm saying that right, but it is just gain 2 prestige. This you'll buy this pretty consistently because 2 gold for 2 prestige is a decent rate. It's nothing special. It's like a C plus, B minus, somewhere around there. But it is playable. It does enable your combos for light blue, and it does count as power generation. Although it's prestige, which is even better in most cases. Although you can't use it to knock out agents, but in most situations this circumvents the agents that are taunting you. So, I mean, it has pluses and minuses on both ways. All right, the Maomer Cutter. It's a contract action. Costs 2 gold. Gain 1 power. Combo 2, gain an additional power. Combo 3, gain 2 more power. So this is potentially 4 power, although you are very rarely going to get 4 power out of this card. This is a C minus to a D plus. I would lean more toward a D plus. It is not great. If you desperately need power or to enable other combos in light blue, this is fine because it only costs 2 gold. So maybe it's a C minus. We'll go with C minus. The Piandinian Warfleet. Piandonian. Sure. All right. For 3 gold, you gain 2 power. Combo 3, gain 3 power. This is a very important card for the strategy. Basically, we're really looking at this as it says gain 2 power. So for 3 gold, gain 2 power. The upside is nice. It actually gets pretty easy to do when you have a bunch of boarding parties in your deck. But at that point, you're winning anyway. So this is a B minus to a C plus, right in the middle there, between the two. It's fine. It's something that you're going to take early in order to get out ahead and start using the patron power. Then we have Sea Elf Raid, which is fine. It is the starter card. All starter cards are just fine. Sea Raider's Glory, another contract action. For 2 gold, gain 1 prestige. For combo 3, gain 3 prestige. This is fine. It's a C minus to a D plus, right in the middle there. Again, enables your other combos. Again, it's whatever. Sea Serpent Colossus. This is the upgraded version of a previous card. Instead of gaining 1 power for the combo 2, it's gained 2 power. This is something that you'll take early. It is the same grade, like B minus, C plus, somewhere around there. Serpent Guard Rider. For 5 gold, you gain 1 power. Combo 2, remove 2 cards from the tavern. This is a D. It's too expensive for the strategy. Usually you don't want to be buying this. Yes, it can enable things. It's not good. Alright. The Serpent Prow Schooner. Yeah. 3 gold, gain 2 power. Combo 3, gain 2 additional power. It is the same as the Warfleet. So, yeah, same grade as the Warfleet. Just a little bit worse. It's just as important early. You're going to want it. Snakeskin Freebooter is a card that you will want if you can afford it. In most cases, you're not going to get this card, but if for some reason you stall out in the early game, don't get power generation, this can start enabling you to get boarding parties into your deck, which will enable you to get out ahead. For 6 gold, gain 1 coin. Combo 2, you get a boarding party in your cooldown pile. So this is a C minus to a C. Probably a C. I like it as C. You'll buy this if you did not get power early, and for some reason both of you did not get power early. So this enables you to start generating things. And it's a kill on sight. You cannot leave this on the board. If your opponent has this, you must kill it. Storm Shark Wave Caller. 5 gold, gain 1 power. This is a D as well. It's just the downgraded version of the Serpent Guard Rider. It's not good. And then we have Somerset Sacking. For 2 gold, you gain 2 prestige. Combo 2, gain 1 coin. This is a B. It is pretty good. Anyway, I hope that this gave you a little bit of insight on to how to play the light blue deck. You will not have friends if you play this deck, but more power to you. You want to get some wins? This deck can get wins. Anyway, my name is Rev. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.